In this video, we're going to address shoulder external rotation. External rotation helps stabilize the shoulder joint, which inherently is unstable due to its wide range of motion that it can go through. This stability is crucial for preventing dislocations and other injuries. This is an important ability when doing any pressing movements in the gym. We will discuss how we can stretch our tight internal rotators from our sedentary lifestyle of constantly sitting, and how we can strengthen the external rotators to create more stability in our shoulder, and how it will apply to other movement patterns. For this video, we will need a lacrosse ball, a broomstick, umbrella, or any really light object that's kind of like a pole, a yoga block, and a mini band to perform this protocol. To improve shoulder mobility and reduce excessive internal rotation, it's essential to focus on stretching and releasing these tight tissues. We're going to start by trying to provide some blood flow and increase the fluid dynamics to our anterior deltoid so we can be more efficient when we try to stretch into better positions. Anterior delt myofascial release. Let's start by lying face down on the ground, placing a lacrosse ball under our anterior delt, or the front of our shoulder. This is going to be where your pec and shoulder intersect. While shifting our weight to the side of the lacrosse ball and placing our hand behind our back, we want to search for sensitive tissue that needs some attention. When you find a spot that's painful, take deep breaths and move your elbow up and down like a chicken wing. Another effective method is just making small circles on the ball. We want to perform this for 60 seconds per side. Make sure to keep your shoulder on the ball and maintain constant pressure. Tight tissue is like a dried sponge. It's not very pliable and it can easily be strained or torn. Sitting for long periods, especially with poor posture, can cause the shoulders to round forward, tightening, and then constantly putting us in a bad position. Sitting for long periods of time, especially with poor posture, can cause the shoulders to excessively round forward, tightening our internal rotators and chest muscles. This hunched position also lengthens and weakens the muscles in our back, contributing to the limited shoulder external rotation that we have. By using the lacrosse ball, we can help make the tissue healthier and improve fluid getting to that area, making us much more effective at stretching and then activating the antagonist muscles that are being pulled into bad positions. After improving the fluid dynamics, we now want to stretch the tight tissue of our pec. Pec stretch. Next, let's focus on stretching the tissue of our pecs. Walk up to the corner of a wall or doorway, placing one hand at about head height. From here, take a step forward with the leg that's further away from the wall, and while having your arm bent at a slight elbow angle, rotate away from the wall until you feel a stretch in your pec and shoulder. Hold this position, taking deep breaths for 30 seconds. Don't push this stretch too quickly. Trying to force yourself into a position too early can lead to straining something, further setting you back. Now that some of the tight tissue has been relieved, we want to focus on some of the smaller muscles in charge of internal rotation and lengthen those. Using a stick, or again the broom or whatever you have on hand, we're going to try to push ourselves into external rotation. Using a stick is a great way of trying to leverage your arm into external rotation, stretching out those internal rotators, and it's going to help improve your flexibility and also help you strengthen your external rotators. Because if we're pulled into internal rotation too much, it's going to be very challenging to strengthen the tissue that's weak, that we need to get stronger to be able to pull our posture into a better position. Stick external rotation. Stand or sit with good posture. Hold the stick in both hands, with an overhand grip, positioning your hands shoulder width apart. Bend your elbows to 90 degrees, keeping them close to your side. With the stick horizontal in front of you, keep your upper arms glued to your side, ensuring that your elbows always remain at 90 degrees throughout this movement. Your forearms should be parallel to the floor. Holding the stick in front of you, slowly rotate the stick away from your body, bringing your forearm outward, while keeping your elbows close to your side. That's so important. Focus on moving your hands outward while your elbows remain stationary. Continue rotating until you feel a gentle stretch in your shoulders. Gradually bring the stick back to the starting position and then restart. Maintain control and avoid any jerky movements. Perform sets of a 30-second isometric hold per side, resetting your shoulder blade whenever needed. I personally find this stretch more useful with the shoulders in 90 degrees of flexion as well, and then rotating my hand back behind me while pressing down with the other arm on the stick. This creates a seesaw effect of the stick, and it helps create a little bit more leverage. This position is slightly more advanced, again because of that, but just try this and be extremely slow in this process and don't strain any of the tight tissue by overdoing this. Next, after we've loosened up all the tight tissue, now we want to work on strengthening our external rotators so we can overcome the tight internal rotators that have been pulling us forward into this bad position. Prone external rotation holds. Start by lying face down on the ground with both shoulders in 90 degrees of flexion on the edge of 2 yoga blocks. Start by retracting and depressing your shoulder blades for a stable position and not to compensate from. Then, work on lifting your hands off the ground as much as you possibly can, holding that end range position for 5 seconds. Perform a set of 10 repetitions per side. This exercise focuses on strengthening the external rotator muscles, particularly the infraspinatus and teres minor, which are crucial for shoulder external rotation and overall function and stability of our shoulder. Just make sure to keep your head down on the ground and do not try to compensate by going into excessive lumbar flexion to make this easier on yourself. Last, and my personal favorite, if we have a mini band, we can work on isometrically strengthening our external rotators with very little equipment. Mini band external rotation hold. While placing both wrists inside a light mini band, bring your shoulders into 90 degrees of flexion with vertical forearms. Make sure to retract and depress your shoulder blades again from the starting position. From here, pull the band apart and think of getting your hands wider than your elbows. Hold this position for 30 seconds. If you can watch yourself in a mirror, it's preferable. You can notice if you have one side that's lacking in strength more than the other. For me, you're going to see that my right side is in failure quicker than my left side here. You'll also see muscles trembling as you do this. This is one of my favorite ways to strengthen your external rotators. Perform things like this before any day that you're doing pressing exercises to make sure that you're using the correct musculature and you have much more stability and potential strength in those joints. Strengthening your external rotators is vital for maintaining healthy shoulders, preventing injuries, and it's just going to enhance your overall performance. Start incorporating these exercises that target these muscles into your fitness routine so you can ensure better stability, improved overall posture, and just a greater potential to get stronger where you should. Regularly working on your external rotators will support a balanced, strong, and resilient shoulder joint, allowing you to perform daily activities and athletic endeavors with ease and confidence that you're not going to hurt yourself. Keep working hard, keep stretching the tight tissue, as well as strengthening the weak little muscles, and I promise your shoulders are going to feel better than ever, and you're going to be performing movement patterns that you never could before very, very soon. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing your progress in the future. Keep working hard.